This is the story of how my dad saved his life. And now, he's fighting every day to save what matters most. His family, his music, and his soul. He's not doing this for fame. He's doing it to prove who he really is. The original punk and roll outlaw, fighting to stay sober, stay strong, and stay standing. This is more than a podcast. This is a war for redemption. This is the story of my dad. Welcome to Louder Than My Demons.
So before we start this episode, I need to tell you something that's real, it's raw, and it's straight from my heart. I was accused of something that I didn't do. As a result, I lost the love of my life. I lost my daughter. I lost my dog. And I almost lost my son. But what I didn't lose was my ability to fight. I didn't lose my voice. But let's be clear, I'm not here to break down the case. Not yet. That day's going to come. I'm going to talk about it all right here. I'll tell you everything that happened over here, this part of the house. I'll tell you everything that happened before that and that led up to that night. Right now, I'm here to talk about the wreckage that night left behind and how I'm crawling out of that hole with both fists still swinging. Now, I also want you to know that I'm no expert. I'm no counselor. I'm just a dude who's going through some shit. And so what I did was invite you into my studio, into my guitar lounge, into my house, so that you can follow this journey and share this journey with me. Now, this show ain't about fame. It's not about trends. It's all about pain. And what it's like when a man refuses to let that pain have the last word. You're going to hear some things on here that are ugly. You're going to hear some things on here that hurt. You're going to hear me cry. You're also going to hear some truth. Every episode will be based in truth because this is the first sermon of a man who almost didn't make it. And now I'm here to light that fire. Welcome to episode 1. Welcome to Louder Than My Demons. I'm Josie. Let's get going. You know, I used to pour whiskey on wounds that really needed truth. Now I sweat it out, rep by rep, song by song, prayer by prayer. That's how I fight now. Listen, this isn't a performance. This isn't one of my promos. This is just what it sounds like when a man digs himself out of his own grave and then tells his story with dirt still underneath his fingernails. I'm not an expert. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as a dude who's trying to get sober, trying to get his life back. This story is not about what happened that night. It's not about what happened in this house right over there. This story about what's going to happen in this heart and in this soul going forward. If you follow me on this journey, you're going to see what it's like for a man to get sober. On December 28th, the cops took me away in handcuffs. I got arrested in my own fucking home. Outside of my own home, anyhow. I was confused. I was angry. I was lost. Hell, I was embarrassed. I had a mugshot, had a black eye, had bruised ribs. But I wasn't guilty. I wasn't guilty of what they accused me of. But that's for a different day and a different time. I'll tell you that whole story someday. Everything I loved, I lost. Everything that meant something to me, gone. Just like that. At first, I thought this podcast might be a place where I could tell my side of the story. Burn down some of the lies that are being told about me. Defend myself. And then I said, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't need to defend myself because that'll happen at the trial on August 19th. I'll defend myself then when it counts and when it matters. I am confident in my truth. I am so confident that I'm willing to stake everything on it. I didn't do what I'm accused of. We've already seen that because some of the charges have been dropped. I'm not afraid to face the consequences of standing by that truth. But again, we'll worry about that at a different time and a different day. My first week sober, I spent that in county jail. Locked up with inmates. Guys from all over, guys that had done a whole bunch of bad things, guys that didn't do a whole bunch of bad things. I was reading a bunch of crappy books. I was thinking. I spent time in there with a guy who was in there for something similar to what I was dealing with. And we both said to each other, you know what, man? Let's make this the line. Let's make this the time that we finally do something about it. Let's not go back out there and be the same people we were before. And I took that to heart. When I came home to a ransacked house. Someone had pulled the screen off the front window, broke back in. I don't know what they did. I got pictures of it. I got pictures of everything. It was heartbreaking. My house was destroyed. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have hope, but I knew one thing. I wasn't going to drink anymore. I walked over here to my bar. I grabbed all the booze. Joe was still here. He picked me up at the county jail. He was still standing there. He watched me. I dumped every bottle out. I dumped every beer out. I didn't just throw them away to where I could go back out and grab them later. I didn't leave them there so I could grab one if I started feeling sad. I dumped them out. And I said, enough of this shit. I'm done with it. After Joe left, I sat there. I sat there in shame. I sat there in silence. I didn't know what to do. Like I said, I didn't have a plan. I didn't even have hope at that point. So I pulled out a pen and I pulled out some paper. Now, I'm a list maker. If you know me, you know that I make lists. You come in the house, you're going to see a whiteboard somewhere with a bunch of stuff I got to do that day, or a bunch of stuff I should have done the day before, right? You walk in my house, there's lists everywhere. I decided I was going to make up a plan. I'm going to come up with a plan, and I'm going to stick to this plan. I sat there through tears, and I wrote down 3 words. My plan had 3 words. Rehab, therapy, lawyer. I knew I needed to have a good lawyer because I had some serious charges. I knew that. But the first thing I needed was sobriety. The second thing I needed was therapy because I needed to know what was wrong with me that made me drink and made me put myself in situations where I didn't let boundaries come into play, where I let people walk all over me and take advantage of me, where I didn't even care because, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to drink. I wanted to go do a line. I didn't want to sit there and deal with things. I just wanted to party. That's what I wanted to do. That's how I've been my whole life. But what my soul told me that night, sitting here in the dark, in silence, in shame, was that the only thing that was going to save me was sobriety. The only thing that was going to help me get sobriety was therapy. And the only way I could do this was to get a lawyer to keep me out of jail and to keep me moving forward. I didn't need somebody to help me get sober as much as I needed a resurrection. So I started looking into rehabs. And finally, after talking to a few of them, one guy wanted to fly me out the next day to Indiana. But I said, no, I got to stay here. I got to work. So I finally settled on an intensive outpatient therapy program over at Summa. Man, I'm glad I went. It was 3 nights a week, 3 hours a night. It was intense. Madison was awesome. I'm still going to see Madison and the aftercare program there. I go once a week now, but I learned so much in there. I had projects at home. I was going to AA, but in rehab, I sat down for the first time in my life and I actually listened to people. Not just about myself, not just because of myself. I sat down and I listened. And you know why? Because my son told me after we talked about things and he understood my side of things and he understood my point of view and he believed me. He said, Dad, I don't really like it when you drink. No filter, just the truth. And that's what I love about that man. He just told me how he felt. And it was a fucking gut punch, but I took it. And I got up. And my daughter,
She couldn't call me on my birthday.
not because she didn't want to, she probably didn't even know, but she wasn't allowed to call. We'll talk about that another day too. But that's the kind of heartbreak that just doesn't heal fast. It doesn't heal fast. And while I was in rehab, I started training. I started working out. I got on that bike over there. I brought the bike in the living room, put it in front of the TV, and I said, hey, if you're going to sit here, you're going to ride the bike. The only way you can watch TV is if you sit on that bike. And so I rode that bike like it stole money from me. I started lifting weights, a little bit at a time. I told Mike Barons I started with 10 push-ups a day. I started doing push-ups. I started doing yoga. I was building strength back in my body. I picked the guitar back up, started writing. Since January, I've written 70 songs. 70 fucking songs. Songs about love, songs about pain, songs about addiction and alcohol, songs about truth. Songs about the people I love, the people I loved, the people I lost. Songs about spirituality and my search for spirituality. And you know what? I wrote some fun shit too. I wrote songs about cars, chasing girls, motorcycles. I wrote some songs about the band. I wrote some cool stuff. Wasn't all sad. Don't worry, the corruption's still going to be the corruption. And for a while, I still text certain people. I text them every day, 10, 15, 20 times a day. I tell them that I love them. Tell them I missed them. I talk about the tribe. I talk about the WWE. Talk about some dinner I made or something stupid that made me laugh. Just because I miss that person so much. Then I delete them. Because I wasn't allowed to send them. I realized that's my new reality. That's my new life. I didn't want this life, but it's my life. It's my reality. And so I have to make the best of it. I couldn't make the best of anything. All I could do was make it to the next day. Sometimes the next hour. Sometimes the next minute. It all depended. Until recently, it was bad days with the occasional good moment. Now, I'm starting to have good days, sprinkled with some bad spots, some rough spots. Just like everybody else in the world, right? Little moments of melancholy, ghosts that ache for the past. But they pass now, and that ache, it doesn't fucking own me anymore. Sure, I get sad. I get sad every day. I got sad today. I miss people today. I miss them every day. But I don't let it own me anymore. Now, the work I'm putting in, this therapy, rehab, AA, exercise, meditation, it's actually working. It relieves my mind of anxiety and sadness. I know I'm not wanted back in certain people's lives. And that used to break me. It still does. I wake up all the time thinking, I can't believe I'm not going to talk to this person anymore. This person who was so integral in my life for 3 years is gone, not coming back. And I miss him. But knowing that this new me, this new Josie, won't go back to that lifestyle, to that person, to the way that I was living in 2024, that's freeing. Knowing that this new me is building something bigger and better and stronger, it's life-changing. Life-changing for me. It's going to be life-changing for my children. It's going to be life-changing for my friends and for the people around me. It's been life-changing for my musical career because the songs are so good. I'm starting a new venture, doing the podcast. I have other things in the works that I'll be talking about at different times. I have a lot of things going on. Knowing that this new me is building all of that, like I said, it's life-changing. It's fucking life-changing. Now listen, I still love certain people. And I don't want to get too far off into that. But there's not a day goes by that those people don't pop up into my thoughts. There's not a day goes by that's easy without them. This is not what I wanted, but it's what I'm dealing with. It's my new reality, as I said earlier. I have to walk it. I have to walk it anyway. I don't want to, but I have to. I have to do it for my kids. I have to do it for me and for the man that I still believe that I can be. One of the things I learned in rehab when I went, I didn't know what to expect at all. I didn't know what was going to come up. But what I found therapists that cared. I found addicts. I found alcoholics. All of us broken. We sat together. We cried together. I cried every one of those sessions that I went to. We clawed our way back. And then one night I realized I wasn't a monster. These people weren't monsters. I was a man. They were people who forgot who we were. We forgot what we needed to be and how we could be better. We had a problem and we needed help fixing. Another thing that I found out was I was a man that wasn't afraid to ask for help. I wasn't afraid to talk or to share or to ask people to help me become better, because that's what I needed. I knew that I needed that when I went there. I didn't just find myself in rehab. What I did was bury the old Josie there. Swore I'll never dig him up again. I left there with a new, straight edge version of Josie. So how did I get here? It wasn't one light bulb moment where everything clicked and I realized it. I knew I had to get sober. And then it was piece by piece. I clawed my way through sobriety in the early days. I'm still in the early days. But that first month or two, I was clawing. Talking to something bigger than me, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. My son Colton played a huge part in this. He shared how spirituality had helped him. He told me that it brought him peace. And I'm going to tell you something. My son's spirituality is truly a beautiful thing to witness. He warmed my soul and told me how it had helped him in times that I didn't know that he was dealing with, in times that he didn't come to me and talk to me about things. And it truly made me feel closer to my boy, who's now a man. I shouldn't call him a boy anymore. Him and I are closer now than we ever were, even though I was afraid, that because I'd let him down, that I had embarrassed him. Once he understood what had happened for real, and he heard my side of the story, he was all on board. And he's been with me and helping me every step of the way since then. And so I started reading a daily devotional. Somebody had left it here. And I wasn't looking for God. I was just looking for some calm. I just wanted to find a way to find that inner peace that people had talked about so often. I was looking for something that was going to help me hold it together. I don't know if I found it yet. I do know that I feel better when I read the devotional, when I pray. I know I feel better when I go to church. Another thing that I did was I turned to my friends, Stacy and Joe and Eric, Nicole, Ashley, Kristen, Stephanie, other people that have been through stuff like this. They cared, they listened, and they talked to me. People, they were just there for me. They were there for me every step of the way, and it's been heartwarming to know that I can turn, especially Stacy, especially Nicole, who's been through this before, I could turn to them. And then next, I showed up for myself. I started working out. I started eating better. I went to a nutritionist to find out exactly how to do that the right way. It really helped a lot. And then I started taking care of my body and my mind. I started doing meditation again every day. That's self-care. My prayers, that's all self-care. And self-care isn't selfish, it's survival. Then strength started showing up. It started showing up in my arms, in my legs, in my mindset. I started feeling better about myself. And then somewhere along all of this, I found words again. Creativity. Songs started pouring out of me like blood, like truth, like a damn lifeline. And I looked up one night and I realized I built something here. I had a system. I had a code. I had something that I could hold on to. And I called this the 5 S's. Sobriety, spirituality, self-care, strength, and songwriting. This didn't come from a dream or from a vision. It's just what I found in the wreckage of my life. Together, these were saving me. I didn't sit down and write these out. Just one day I realized this is what I was doing every day. Every day I was practicing sobriety. Every day I was praying. Every day I was working out twice a day. Every day I was thinking about some kind of song that I could write. Every day I had new lyrics. Like I've said, I've written 72 lyrics or songs right now. 72 songs. And then every day I was meditating. Every day I was doing some kind of self-care, whether it was meditation, whether it was prayer, whether it was the working out. All of that stuff came together and it formed these pillars of my sobriety on which I'm going to build this new house and build this new Josie. The 5 S's. And that's where I try and practice some of them, all of them, if possible, every single day. It's something that's very important to me. So now what do I do every day? I meditate every day, twice a day. I try and meditate in the morning, usually at lunch, or sometimes when I first get home from work before I work out, I'll do that. I read that devotional almost every day. Sometimes I don't make it every day. When I don't, I feel bad, but I still try and read it. I definitely pray first thing when I wake up in the morning, and I pray in the evening before I go to bed. I thank God. I thank the universe. I thank whoever you want to believe in. I thank them for the things that I do have in my life that I'm grateful for. And gratitude is one of those things that I've realized is very important when you're getting sober. Because things come at you so hard and things get thrown at you that you don't expect as you're getting sober. You think, oh, it's going to be great. I'm sober. Everything's going to get better. That's not how it happens. It's not how it happens. And so gratitude for the things that you do have that are good in your life. Gratitude. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful that I have a car, even if it's not great, that I can drive to work. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful that I found this beautiful dog, Edie, who hangs out with me and talks to me and keeps me company. I'm grateful for this house that I've had for 8 years. I'm grateful for my family. My mother and my sisters have been awesome, supportive, and behind me. I am grateful for a lot of things. And, I got Miss Edie Van Halen, my beautiful little dog. But I miss George terribly. I think about George every day, and I wish that I could have George Van Page back. I miss him a lot. I rebuilt the studio. I got this going. It's going to be awesome. We're doing demos. We're writing songs. This is where all the energy that's in my body now that I'm sober comes out. I sit down and write songs. Just wait. Just wait. I started over in a house that I didn't recognize. I put my guitar wall up, and I know that a lot of you have seen that on Facebook and stuff. I put my guitar wall up that I've been talking about doing forever, and I love it. I closed down my bar. My bar is mainly just to hold some stuff right now. I'm gonna revamp that a little bit. You'll see it in some of these episodes. But yeah, I rebuild a lot of stuff in this house. I'm redoing more as I go. It's hard. It's hard to stay here, knowing what happened in this house, knowing what happened right over there. When I tell the story, and I will tell the story, but I can't do it now. I don't want to do it now. But when I do tell the story, you're going to wonder why I stay in this house. You're going to wonder. And sometimes I do. But, that first week that I got out of jail, I talked about this earlier, I made that list. And that list said rehab. And that list said therapy. And that list said a lawyer. I found a guy, first guy that I called, his name's Andy. Andy has been a life changer for me. The guy is awesome. He's my guy, man. He is a cool dude. He listens to me talk. He's heard me cry more than anybody in my life. Nobody's ever heard me cry as much as him, except maybe Madison and the people in rehab those first couple weeks. He knows what I went through. He knows. And he's been my guy. He's helped me work through what he's told me is PTSD from the events that happened last year and at the end of the year. There's more to this than any of you know. But he helps me keep it from becoming a problem. I work on it every week. We talk about things every single week. He is well-versed in addiction and spirituality. And I ask him to bring that spirituality and that conversation about my addictions to our meetings, to our sessions, because I need that. I know that I need that. One of the first questions I asked him after we talked a little bit was I asked him if I was a narcissist. And the reason I asked him this was because I'd been called that every single day for 3 years. Every day. And he said, the fact that you're even asking me that and that you're seeking the truth about yourself, that shows that you're not a narcissist. That shows that you care about other people and that you care about what people think of you. He said, just because you're speaking your truth also doesn't mean that it's ego. It's just in this way, it's healing. So now with all this under my belt, in my pocket, all these tools that I've given myself, the 5 S's, therapy. I got a great lawyer he's a great lawyer. Let's just say that. He's a badass. Noah knows he's a badass. I want to be able to say my piece and my truth. So I feel confident going into that with Noah. I'm building a new universe through all of this. I have a great job. My job is solid. I just got a new promotion at work there. I'm going to be a key account manager. It's a really awesome opportunity for me. The company there has been super understanding and supportive of me. I've been honest with them and open with them, and they understand everything that's going on with me, and they've been super cool. And the people that I work with have been caring and awesome, and they might not know everything that's going on, but they've been really supportive of my moods and my issues, and the fact that I've got 6 months of sobriety has changed me a little bit, but everybody there has been really, really cool. But now I'm building a new universe. I'm starting these podcasts. I've got some other ideas for some podcasts that are going to blow your mind. I'm going to have my own channel of podcasts, and it's going to be really cool. Not just me, but other people. I have a whole bunch of things in mind for that. I got a new cover band that's going to be coming out soon. It's going to blow you away. I'm telling you, it's going to blow you away. It's going to be awesome. I'm playing guitar better than I have in 10 years. My sober mind helps me retain things easier, better. I'm playing better. My fingers feel great. I'm singing better. I've been riding that bike and walking 5 miles a day. And as a result, my voice is stronger. I've been working on my voice. I put together some plans. Not only am I working to try and get stronger, I'm working to be better at the other things that I do. Hell, I'm writing a country album. So I've been learning how to sing some Southern twang stuff. It'll be more of a blue or a Allman Brothers meets Chris Stapleton kind of thing, but it's going to be cool. I promise you. I got 20 songs written for that. I'm aiming to pick maybe 10, 13, have that come out on my birthday in January. One of the cool things about this is I reconnected with a buddy of mine, Thomas, who has been a really good friend through the years, and we've reconnected recently, and he is going to help me with the country album. He heard I was doing a country album. Him and I talked about it. He couldn't believe it. He's like, yeah, I want to help you do that. And I think it's awesome. Thomas is a great guy. He's been real supportive because he's gone through some stuff like this himself. And it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. So, also, The Corruption has the live album that's going to be coming out on Veterans Day this year called Outlaws and Anthems, live and chaotic. We're going to release it on vinyl. There'll be a couple other songs that maybe come out around the same time. We've also got a single that's going to be the theme song for this called The Straight Edge Superstar. We're going to be releasing that in July, right around the time this podcast. So if you're watching this now, you can probably find that out there. But we recorded that live album at the Afterlife in February. And man, the boys brought it. And it sounds good. It's a punk outlaw rock and roll extravaganza. True Corruption style. True Corruption style. They killed it that night. Also, Detained Records is going to relaunch. We're working on the website right now. I'm going to be putting some stuff together with some bands around the country. It's going to start off kind of as a distributorship, and then it'll head into other things after that. I'm started a company called Z33 that's going to have everything underneath it. You'll be looking for that website also. Also, louderthanmydemons.com is out right now. You can go to it right now and find that. It's pretty cool. This podcast here is the central war cry for me. Every episode will touch on different pieces of the 5 S's. Every episode, I'm going to have one of the tales of the guitar lounge, which you'll see in a little bit, where I'm going to talk about people who have gone through sobriety issues, rock and roll people. I'm going to tell some rock and roll stories. I'm going to do some cool things built around that. I'm also going to have Colt One Studios. I'm going to do some stuff from in here where I do some songwriting, talk about some of the songs that I've written, play a little bit for you, show you how I came up with some riffs. I mean, it's not like I'm the world's greatest songwriter, but songwriting has become so important to me that I want to talk about it. And I want to play some of these songs that are not going to be out for a while, that I've written, and some of these songs that mean so much to me through this time, telling my story. You know, and I'm looking forward to that session every week with you guys. I think that you're going to end up liking this. So what do I want you to take from this? If you're dealing with anything like what I'm dealing with, and you're trying to decide if sobriety is right for you, if you wonder if you can get sober and still keep your edge, can you still be creative? Can you still be aggressive? Listen to me. I've written 72 songs since January. Your creativity can get stronger if you let it. Sobriety has made my edge sharper. It's turned me into this new straight edge version of Josie. So remember, we are not our worst mistake. We are not the worst night of our lives. We don't have to be that broken version of who we used to be. We're not done just because we fucked up. For me, December 28th was the beginning of a new life. I didn't come back here to be quiet. I came back here to start a war. I came back here to start a riot. I came back here to share with people who might be going through what I was going through, that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to somebody that you need help. It's okay to tell people I can't deal with this myself anymore, because I couldn't. My demons kept telling me that I could deal with it. You're cool, man. You don't have to worry about this. Have another drink. Chop that line up. Let's have a good time. What I found out was I couldn't handle it anymore. I wasn't capable of living a productive life and still doing that. Last year proved that to me. This year, I'm proving that when I'm sober, I am the most productive I've ever been in my life. The guys in the band have to be sick of me saying, hey, I wrote a new song today. Hey, guys, I'm doing this podcast. Hey, I've got this book I'm writing. Hey, check this out. I'm doing this. They have to be sick of it. Every day I've got a new project. But that's because I've got time. That's because I'm sober. I'm not laying in bed thinking, oh, shit, I got to get up. Oh, no, what am I going to do? I'm up. I'm at it. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I work out for an hour. I go take a walk with the dog for 15, 20 minutes. I make a good breakfast. I pack my lunch. I go to work. I work hard all day. I walk at lunchtime. I come home. I work out again. Then I grab my guitar and I sit down at the studio and I play. Or I get the computer and I start writing the next episode for the podcast. That's what I do. It's because I'm creative now. It's because I'm open. I'm free. And I'm not thinking, oh, I got to go get beer. Oh, I got to go get some Coke. Oh, I got to go get a shot. I need a shot. I need a shot. And it's not, oh, I did 3 shots. Now I don't want to play guitar. It's I'm playing guitar. Wow, this sounds pretty good. That's what my life is like now. Yeah, I'm missing some things. I'm missing some people that I wish were still in my life. I don't get to see my daughter like I want to see. And we'll get into that later. I don't want to get too much into it right now. But, not seeing my daughter every week like I used to is really hard and really sad to me. However, I'm working on that. And it's going to get better. So like I said, I came back to start a war. I came back to start a riot. I want you to go with me and let's start that riot together. Let's embrace sobriety and let's embrace what we could really be. This spark, this fire, this is how I feel every day now. Every day. And it's just getting started. Because I came back to be louder than my demons. So I want you to say hello to the straight edge superstar. got sober in jail, but I got honest in rehab. And that's when the fire really began.
I walk in, you walk by. I can tell by the look in your eyes.
So I just finished reading Duff McKagan's book again. It's So Easy and Other Lies, his first book. You know Duff, the bassist from Guns N' Roses, who probably should have been dead about 10 times over. And yet somehow, he walked out of the wreckage stronger than ever. He didn't just survive. What he did was rebuild. And there's this one part, man, and it just hit me. He talks about using pain, not just the emotional pain that we all deal with when we're getting sober, but the actual physical pain. And he used it as his own weapon to claw his way out of his addictions. He took kickboxing, he did martial arts, he used real life discipline. And he took all this anger and all this darkness that we all have. All of us addicts and alcoholics, we have this darkness inside of us somewhere. It's what makes us go drink. It's what makes us go do drugs, whatever it is. He took all that anger and darkness and he sweated it out until his demons couldn't hold on anymore. And man, that hit me because that's kind of what I've been doing too. No, I'm not doing martial arts. And if I tried to kick something, I'd probably tear a hamstring. But I'm lifting. I ride that bike every day. I walk 2 or 3 miles every single day. I do 2-a-day workouts. I hit that bag 3 times a week. I suffer. I make myself suffer on purpose. Every morning I wake up with a war inside my head. And I got to punch, or I got to lift, or I got to pedal my way out of it before it wins. There was this time early on in my sobriety when I was suffering and dealing with all of the loss. And everything was falling apart. Everything in my life was falling apart. I just couldn't sit still. I couldn't stop moving. So what did I do? I got on that bike. I went and lifted weights. I played that guitar. Because if I did stop, all the guilt, all the heartbreak, all the withdrawals, it was going to swallow me whole. So I laced up my shoes. I'd go walk a couple miles. I'd go get on the bike. I'd ride for 30 minutes. I'd go lift some weights. Didn't matter what was going on outside, what was going on inside of me. I had to do it. If I didn't, I was afraid I'd break. You know, Duff didn't just get sober, he got strong. And that's what people miss so often. Sobriety's not a soft thing. It ain't yoga mats and green juice. Sometimes it's blood in your fucking mouth. It's crying at 2 a.m. missing people. It's heavy weight on your shoulders. It's the armor we build over top of the scars we inflicted on ourselves. And that's where I'm at now. Every mile that I run, every mile that I walk, every mile that I ride on that bike, every weight that I lift, and every drop of sweat is one more step away from the grave. And it's one more step closer to the man I'm supposed to be. So shout out to Duff. You helped this old outlaw learn how to fight without a bottle in his hand. Stay loud. The straight edge lifestyle isn't just clean, it's defiant. And when you've already lived through hell, it's a revolution. Next section of this podcast is called Beyond the Songs. And each week what I'm going to try and do is talk about one of the songs I've written during my early sobriety, talk a little bit about why I wrote it, why I was inspired to write it, why it means something to me. Whether they mean something to you or not, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It might mean something to me. And each one of these is going to be a part of my sobriety. This one, I've been writing a bunch of sad shit and a bunch of pissed off shit and a bunch of stuff where I was just mad at everybody, mad at myself, mad at my situation, missing the person that I'm in love with, all that. Just having a rough time. And one day I said, you know what, man? I can't just sit back and be a bummer all the time. I'm not that kind of person. If I'm going to be sober, I don't want to be sober and be a bummer and be that guy nobody wants to hang out with, right? So I was thinking about how I can get my edge back. How can I take my edge? And I've talked about it throughout this episode and some of the other episodes. Keeping your edge, even though you're sober, but you're a rocker, right? You're some kind of a rock and roll outlaw like I am. And how do you do that? With everything falling around you, everything falling apart in your world, how do you pull it back and still say, you know what, man, I'm still a badass. I'm still a badass. And so I thought about it, and something that came to mind was I'm a huge wrestling fan. If you know me, WWE is one of the biggest things in my life. I watch it every week. I watch all the pay-per-views. I watch everything. I still call them pay-per-views. They're not called that anymore. They're called premium live event. But back when I was younger, they were called pay-per-views. And I remember there's a guy, and I've never been a fan of his, and I'm still not a fan of his. I respect him though. CM Punk. And CM Punk didn't drink. He didn't do drugs. He's got a tattoo of the Pepsi logo on his arm because that was what he drank. And he said that he was in the straight edge society and that he didn't want to drink. And he did a promo, one of the greatest promos in wrestling history. Even if you don't like the guy, it's one of the best. Where he said, "I'm straight edge and I'm better than you." And well, I don't think that I'm better than anybody. I think that I can be straight edge and be better than the old Josie was. I think that I can be straight edge and still have that edge. And that's what CM Punk taught me, was you could still have the edge. You could still be a badass and not drink and not do cocaine and not be smoking weed and doing all the other stuff that people do, right? And so I was thinking about this and I'm like, you know, originally I came up with the idea I wanted to do something about straight edge rock star. And, you know, I remember one time my old man, he used to come watch my band play all the time. He loved watching me play. And he came up after the show one time and him and I were having some beers. Of course, he had a Miller High Life. And I probably had a couple shots and a couple beers too. And we're sitting there talking and he's hugging me and he's just telling me how much he loves me. You know, I miss my dad a lot. I miss him a lot. I wish he was here to help me through all this bullshit. But anyhow, he leaned into me and he said this a couple times, but I remember this one time in particular was at the Empire. You guys remember the Empire? And he just leaned into me and he said, "Man," he said, "I love watching you play so much." He always called me Josie, especially when I was out with the band or something. He's like, "I love you so much, Josie." He said, "I don't know what it is about you." He said, "But you are a rock star, and I don't understand why more people don't know it." And, you know, it was nice to hear from my dad. It was nice to see, you know, here I am in my late 40s at the time, probably maybe early 50s, and him telling me, you know, I don't know why you weren't a rock star. It's just a good feeling. So I've always had this, you know, I'm a rock star, nobody knows it, right? One of the things that I missed when I'm playing guitar, and this is something you learn with sobriety. I never played guitar, never sat down and practiced without having a beer or a glass of wine or a couple shots. And so I had this habit where I reach and I grab for something. And so now I'm drinking black cherry seltzer, but it's this habit. And I just had to replace that habit with something else, right? So I have water or I have the seltzer. So that's why I grabbed it. Anyhow, straight edge rock star just didn't sound right to me. I sang it in my head about 1,000,000 times and it just didn't sound right to me. And when I was thinking about the CM Punk thing, you know, WWE wrestlers, Vince McMahon said right off the bat, you're not going to be wrestlers. You're superstars. You can be the worst wrestler in the WWE. You could be the Brooklyn Brawler. and you're a WWE superstar. You can be one match, have one match ever in WWE, and you're a WWE superstar. That's a former WWE superstar right there. He wrestled one match, you don't even remember it, but he was a WWE superstar. So I started thinking about that, and I was like, okay, I kind of like the idea of the straight edge superstar, SES. I started thinking about, other kind of ideas, and I started singing it, straight edge superstar, and it started coming together. And so I sang this chorus for a few days, and the chorus was what you're going to hear in a couple minutes, just simple. I'm a straight edge superstar. And then I would go, na, 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 na. And then later I filled in the rest of the lyrics. And about 2 days later, after I came up with straight edge superstar, and I lived with it. And I've done this a bunch of times in my songwriting career. Cocaine for Breakfast, one of our favorite songs, one of the crowd's favorite songs whenever we played. I worked on that for about 6 months, and all I had was the title, Cocaine for Breakfast. And I would sing that until finally one day I'm driving home from Columbus and it kicks in, right? And I came home and I walked in and I walked over to the bar over there, a breakfast bar, and I started getting out a guitar and I started writing a song. And by the time the guys got here for practice that night, it was done. The song was done. So once it hits, like it'll just pour out of you sometimes, and you don't even know what happened. You're just like, oh yeah, here we go. You start writing, or you start typing, or you just start singing into your fucking phone, whatever it takes, right? You just get those out. Curran Murphy said to me one time he keeps pen and paper by him, by his bed, just in case. I do the same thing, or I have my phone there. I've woke up a million times. Woke up singing song lyric into there. Next day I listen to it, it's like, what was that? Right? So Straight Edge Superstar started coming together. And I was trying to put out this cocky attitude because I've always been a cocky dude. Every band I've been in, I've been the one up on stage, throwing my guitar out here, spinning my guitar around my neck. This guitar right here, where is it? Right there. It says "suck my cock" on the back of it. I've always been that guy, right? I want to push it just a little bit. Okay. Well, I always had alcohol to fuel me in the past for that. How do I do it now? I don't know. I didn't know. And it took me a little bit to think about it, but I kept hearing it in my head. Straight edge superstar. I kept hearing it in my head. And when you write a song that you feel is hook ridden, hook laden, whatever you want to call it, has a big hook, you can't get it out of your head. I got another one I'm working on right now called Better Than You. And I'm not happy with the whole song yet, but that fucking chorus is going to be a beast when it hits, because I sing that chorus all the time. And it's like, whoo, yeah, that's when you know you got something. You get the goosebumps, right? That's when I know that I'm on to something. And so I was working with Straight Edge Superstar, and I'm working with it. I'm like, this has got to be a little more modern and a little more stylish, modern styled than a lot of the Corruption stuff, where the Corruption stuff is based in Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Kiss, Alice Cooper kind of hooks, kind of riffs. Not even really riff heavy, but more hook heavy. And this one was coming at me more modern. And I didn't want it to sound dated. I want it to be a song that can come out right now. You know what I mean? And I think when you hear it, you're going to feel the same way. Now we're going to go in the studio and we're going to record a studio version of it. But right now, this will be the only version out there. This song right here that I'm going to play tonight. And I started trying to pull that cocky outlaw shit that has kept me alive and kept me rocking for the last 40 years, right? And the lyrics started getting a little more snarly and a little more angry in my head, right? They still weren't out though. And then one day I went to lunch at work and I had a line. I think the first line was, "I've done it all. I've lived a life. I've taken everything I've ever seen." And that was, I'm not going to get into what all the lyrics mean, but it basically, I've tried everything, right? At one point or another in my life, I've tried all the stuff you can try. And now I'm realizing I can be just as cocky and just as much of a dick without it. I can be Josie and not have to be lit up. I can be Josie and still remember Josie the next day, right? I can be Josie and not wake up in the morning and wonder, man, who did I fight with last night? Who did I argue with? By the time you hear this, I'm going to have over 7 months sober. So I was trying to think of how I could keep all this cocky attitude that I've always had, that fire, that outlaw shit that had made all my bands so fun to watch, that had made me Josie, and still be this new straight edge guy, right? This new guy who doesn't need to drink and do a line, doesn't need 30 shots to get up on stage, or when he gets off stage. Usually it was when I got off stage, that's when I wanted to do shots. You know, I haven't thought about doing a shot this whole year. I mean, it's crazy the amount of drinking I've done in my life, and it hasn't been the biggest issue in my life. The biggest issue has been getting over people. But anyhow, so I wanted to get this cocky attitude back. I wanted to find a way to slam it into this song. And then the lyrics started coming out of me. When I came up with that first lyric, that I've done it all, I've lived a life, took everything I've ever seen. It really made me, boom, here we go, right? And it just got some attitude. And it just became this anthem, I think. I think it's an anthem. I think it's going to be an anthem for sober people. I think it's going to be something that is one of our biggest hits. It's still in the early stages. Everybody's still learning it. Mike and I are the only ones that really have it down. MB. I'm not supposed to call him Mike. It's MB. But he put some serious work into this off of a scraggly little tape that I sent him, or a file that I sent him off my phone of me and an acoustic guitar. And he took it and turned it into something. Came over to my house. We spent about 3 hours ripping it up. And now it's a song that we're ready to start playing. I'm ready to start playing it. I'm ready to start playing it. I'm ready. Okay, so here, I'm going to play it for you right now. On my new Yamaha acoustic. I love this thing. I also got the Ovation over here. The 12-string. The Richie Sambora 12-string. I've always wanted one. I don't know if I like it. But I'm going to play this song. And it's called Straight Edge Superstar, right? Here we go. So here we go with Straight Edge Superstar.
I've done it all, I've lived a life. I took everything I ever seen. I've been up, I fell down. I lost everything I ever had. I'm on fire, no fear in sight. I'm rolling hard and I'm ready to fight. 'Cause I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't win a crown. I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't care who you blame. I'm a straight edge superstar. I'm never backing down. I'm a straight edge superstar. If I don't go insane, I'm coming for the crown. I've been up, I broke the screen. Trying to take me to the ground. I tore it up, I ripped it wide. I'm breaking through, gonna break you down. I'm on fire, no fear in sight. I'm rolling hard and I'm ready to fight. 'Cause I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't win a crown. I'm a straight edge superstar. I'm the devil you blame. I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't back it down. I'm a straight edge superstar. If I don't go insane, I'm coming for the throne. superstar, straight edge superstar. I'm a 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 straight edge superstar. I'm coming for the throne. I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't win a crown. I'm a straight edge superstar. I'm the devil you blame. I'm a straight edge superstar. Never backing down. I'm a straight edge superstar. If I don't go insane, I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Okay, so this next section is going to be tough emotionally for me, but it's something I thought about and something I decided I wanted to do. I'm going to open my journal. I've been keeping a journal on my phone all year, and I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to randomly pull something out of there. Now, there's going to be stuff in here, and there's going to be lyrics. There's a bunch of stuff that not necessarily even a journal entry, but it's in my journal. It's something that happened that day, so some of the stuff might suck. Some of it might be super deep, but I want people to be able to see what I've gone through this year, getting sober and getting over somebody that I love dearly and lost, dealing with the time that I am kept away from my daughter. I can't even talk about that sometimes. Not being able to see my daughter is not, it's not easy, and it's not fair. It's not fair. I don't deserve that. Anyhow, I love her so much. But I'm gonna just open it up and randomly read something out here. Okay? So let's see what we got. This one says weird. It's from January 21st, it's Tuesday night. So this is right after everything, it was the first month. Everything was raw and it was hurting and it was bad, right? It seems weird that we are giving up or being forced to give up. Like every other time this has happened, I still love her and I want to hold her. I'm getting more depressed about it each day. They still won't let me talk with my daughter. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to get a lawyer to handle that, as well as the divorce. I just want to see my daughter's face, even on the phone. I hope she still loves me. I love her so much. I got my groceries for the new diet tonight. I'm going to start tomorrow and then meal prep a little tomorrow night. And then I'm not gonna say names, but I basically say goodnight to my wife, to my daughter, to my son Colton, and to my dog George. And then I say that I love all four of you. You know, remembering this night, this was right after I had talked to a nutritionalist and decided that I had to get in shape and I was quitting drinking. I had already quit drinking, and just thinking about how sad I was about everything with the person that I loved. And with my daughter, who I still don't get to talk to when I want to. She should have never been brought into this. It makes it hard. It's so hard. See, I told you this was gonna be emotional. Stick around for the next session. So listen, if you've made it this far, then you're walking through something. It may not be the same fire that I had to walk through this year, and I'm still walking through, but it's your own version of hell, right? So let me say this. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be fierce. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep walking. Because every day you don't pick up, every day you don't use, every day you show up, even when it fucking hurts, that's the day your demons and my demons lose. And that's the day you win and I win. Now listen, I'm not special. I'm not healed. I already told you I'm no kind of counselor or therapist. I'm just somebody who's not afraid to bleed in public. If this helps one person heal, then it's worth it. So if you're out there and if you're hurting, if you're on the edge, like I was, don't fall. Fight. Fight. Give it everything you got because it's worth it. And remember, not today, bottle. Not today, guilt. Not today, devil. Listen, I built a system. I have my weapons. So I fight forward. But believe this, I'm fighting. I didn't come back here to be quiet. I didn't get healthy to be quiet. I came back here to be louder than my demons.
'Cause I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't win a crown. I'm a straight edge superstar. I don't devil you blame. I'm a straight edge superstar. I'm never backing down. I'm a straight edge superstar. If I don't go insane, I'm coming for the crown.